Hey, this is Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, and welcome to How to Play Rainforest City, a card-laying game of flora, fauna, and habitats from Origame and designed by Darrow Chow. A game of Rainforest City plays from 1 to 4 players ages 8 and up in around 30 minutes. In this game, players reconstruct the Singaporean natural landscape, rebuild the habitats of rainforests, mangroves, and oceans, then repopulate with plants and animals and restore the food chain. The player with the most thriving landscape will be the winner. This is a learn in a turn video where you learn as the game plays. In a turn or two or as many needed. We divided this video up into chapters. If you want to view a specific rule from the game, you can find the list of rules in the description below. And if you have a question or something nice to say, leave a comment. It will be a wonderful and tremendous help if you can give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Let's now set up the game. First, place the fruit dial in the middle of the playing area. Then, shuffle the flora and fauna cards into your deck and the terrain cards into your deck and place them nearby. Deal out the cards from each deck in this formation around the fruit dial. 2 terrain, a terrain and a flora fauna, 2 flora fauna, and a terrain and a flora fauna. Take the flora and fauna tokens and make a supply, placing it in reach of all players. Now give each player a fruit marker and a player aid card. Next, give 2 starting terrain cards to each player face down next to each other. Then flip them up so your starting area is a 4x3 grid. Take the matching flora tokens from the supply and place them onto its squares. This area is called your landscape. It's a good idea to have enough room for each player when playing the game. Leave about 5 cards around each player's landscape. The player who last planted any plant gets to be the starting player. This player gets a set of globe markers depending on the number of players are in the game. 6 in a 2-player game, 4 in a 3-player game, and 3 in a 4-player game. This is to keep track the number of rounds that go by. We're showing a 4-player game, so set the globe markers with the 3 on top. That takes care of setup. Time to learn the game. Your objective is to create and expand 3 different types of habitats. Certain flora and fauna can live in these habitats, and each has to be supported by each other in a food chain so you can score points. The 3 habitats are yellow mangroves, green rainforests, and blue oceans. Now it's time to learn the game, and I say you can be the starting player. In the beginning of every turn, all players get cards. First, you need to rotate the dial and point towards the pile you want. Your fruit is the durian, and you point it to this pile with 2 terrain cards. Since you are the fruit dial spinner this turn, you must take both cards in the pile and add them to your landscape. All other players must take 1 of the 2 cards in the pile which their fruit points at. Now you place each of the terrain cards you've taken, placing them 1 at a time. Make sure that the card's square side touches at least 1 square side of your already placed card. And it would be a good idea to place the terrain so it expands the same habitat. Terrain cards can be rotated in any way, and you may not overlap any part of your landscape. Terrain cards with flora and fauna symbols, you must place those matching tokens on it. This one has a blue ocean herbivore, and you place the token right on top. It can be worth 2 points, but since there isn't a 1 flora plant in the same habitat area to support it, It's currently worth 0 points. This card also comes with a house, which shows to remove a green rainforest plant from anywhere in your landscape. A house scores you 3 points at the end of the game. However, every token next to the house will penalize you 1 point. Next, you place the other terrain card and rotate it this way. You place a green rainforest herbivore token. Currently, this token is not supported by a green rainforest plant in the same area, so it won't give you the 2 points at the end of the game. After all players have placed their cards, it's time to refresh and rotate. First, refresh the card piles the same way by drawing cards from the decks. Then the globe marker is passed to the next player to the left. A new turn begins. The active player rotates the fruit dial and takes both cards. Your side of the dial lands here. You only take 1 card this turn since you don't control the fruit dial. You have a choice between the 2 flora and fauna cards. The flora and fauna cards show you how to place new tokens on top of your landscape. Go ahead and place the card. You may rotate it in any way, so the terrain squares line up with each other. Placing over empty spaces is allowed. Make sure the type of tokens that we place below are in the correct habitat. When you're satisfied with the placement, remove and discard the card and place the tokens on your landscape in the same configuration. Now let's refresh and rotate once again. It's another player's turn with the fruit dial and they make a selection. And now you get to select a card from the 2 flora fauna cards. The otter is a special type of fauna token as it can be placed in any habitat. Of course, it needs to be supported by a supported 2 fauna for it to score its 3 points. You place the card like this. The otter is placed, but the blue ocean carnivore is over another token. New tokens always take over old ones. So, the token below must be replaced with the new token when this happens. The old token is sent to the compost heap. Place below your player aid card. Each token here will score you -1 point. Once again, the piles are refreshed and the globe markers are moved to the next player onto the left. The next player rotates the fruit dial and now you get the selection of these cards. You choose another flora and fauna card and place it. Now you place the tokens onto your landscape. If you ever place a token off your landscape, it gets sent to the compost heap. Also, if you do manage to place a token on a house, the token is also sent to the compost heap. And same if you place a token in an incorrect habitat. This turn ends and the globe markers are passed to you. Since you were the starting player, the globe markers goes down from 3 to 2. This marks the end of 1 full round. The game enters a final round when the globe marker is at 1. Here's your finished landscape. And now it's time to score. An area of a habitat is only connected by sides. Touching corners do not count. First, you score for all flora tokens. Each gives you 1 point. Your landscape has 7 points. Then you score for fauna that is supported. The 2 fauna tokens only score when it receives support from 1 flora token. Each supported 2 fauna token scores 2 points. The 3 fauna tokens receive support from 1 supported 2 fauna token. Each supported 3 fauna token scores 3 points each. An important note, each token can only support 1 token. In this top ocean, 2 fauna token scores since each is supported by a flora. The mangrove area in the center only has 1 supported 2 fauna, so only 1 of them scores. You get 2 points here. This means the 3 fauna, either the kingfisher or the otter, scores, the player's choice. You score for the otter for 3 points and the bird does not score. Tokens that are not supported on your landscape are worth 0 points. Moving on to this rainforest, below there is also a 3 supported chain and you score 5 points. This single 2 fauna token is not supported and does not score. Moving on to the other rainforest, the 3 fauna is not supported below it, so it does not score. One chain of 3 tokens score for 5 points. Both the other 3 fauna tokens are not supported by another 2 fauna tokens, so both don't score. Finally, this single 2 fauna token isn't supported and does not score. Next, all houses score points. Normally, each will score 3 points each. However, each token next to them scores a 1 point penalty from any side, including corners. The top house scores 2 points since 1 token is next to it on a corner. The house to the bottom left scores 2 points since 1 token is next to it. As for the house on the bottom, this suffers no penalties since there are no tokens next to it. For each token in the compost heap will score you -1 point. Add up all your points. The player with the most points wins the game. If there is a tie, the player with the fewest tokens in their compost heap wins the game. If there is still a tie, then all tied players win. If you like to play the advanced variant, use the objective cards right before beginning a new game. Shuffle each of the 3 types and deal 1 card type face up. Give all players all 4 fruit tokens instead of 1. Completed objectives will score you extra points, and being the quickest to do so earns you even more points. After placing cards and tokens, see if you score any objectives. If you do, announce which of any objective you have achieved and place your fruit token on the highest value that is open. Multiple players who score the same objective on the same turn places their token on the same place and all receive full points. Once you score an objective, you never lose these points even if your state of your game changes. Players who score later on another turn will score the next highest round available. Other variants found in Rainforest City includes a solo and cooperative modes. Learn more about them in the included rulebook. This concludes the Learn in a Turn video to Rainforest City. If you'd like to know more about this game and others, please visit origame.co. The Cardboard Stacker likes to thank the designer of the game for sponsoring this video. And I like to thank you for watching. For more videos like these, including how to play and playthroughs, come visit the Cardboard Stacker on YouTube and at our website www.thecardboardstacker.com. Thanks again, and as always, I'm here to remind you to keep on stacking games.